Alright everybody, we've got the 94 Nissan Pathfinder. It is finally back on the frame, and we have got the door jambs all ready to go. We've got the firewall ready to go. Everything's looking good. Got to touch up a few things, but not a big deal. And now, this roll pan that I've got back here, we're going to try to get it fitted and maybe try to finish this hatch up a little bit. I just got to weld on the bottom here, and I've got to close this gap and weld in, finish this up, and then knock these welds down, get it smooth. And also I have to weld in these holes where the wiper was at back here. These lift struts are very, very strong. I don't have enough weight on once I put the glass and things in, it'll help. I'm tempted to shave this. I've got a dent right here I've got to fix. I don't want to shave this. That is the original spoiler. It's kind of neat, a little bit goofy but neat. I'm gonna leave it because I like goofy stuff, and I really don't want that third brake light back on. If I could find a smaller one, that would be awesome, but I don't really have a lot of time to spare. What I might do is figure out a way to mount one back here somewhere that kind of hangs down on the inside and it won't show from the outside. I've got one here somewhere. I bought 2 or 3 of those. I bought it for our Trans Am, and I bought more than I needed because I thought it was a cool item. But anyway, that is like terrible. That'll have to be cleaned up really good. And I'll have to put the latch back here, and I'll have to close these where I had the side swinging doors. They hinged from the sides. I pulled all of that back out, and I will have to put all of that back in for this rubber piece to fit onto, and then close all of this gap. That'll be fun to build. Also have to weld this piece onto the other side. But right now we're doing the roll pan, at least getting it to fit. So this side I've already kind of started working on it. I forgot to start a video, but this side I've not. So what I did, I put a mark right here and a mark right here just to help me get this set up. So if I mate those 2 marks, that's where I need it. I will brace that with my leg, and I can come over here and see that mark. It needs to be cut all the way to the edge, right on that 90-degree bend. Just like, I'm gonna swap knees here. Just like I've done over here, and it helps it line up really good. And then I hand formed the bottom. I took these shears and I cut some slits into the metal. I cut pie shapes and removed some of the metal, and then I just tapped that around and made a bend. And I can bend this some more and get it a little bit closer as I need. And there's some of the slivers that I cut out of this to get it to bend. And I used this hammer, and I used this jack stand to bend it. Laugh all you want, but it works. And now I'm just going to take my grinder and cut with a flap wheel and some safety glasses. I'll cut you back on in just a minute. Okay, I've got it lined back up on my lines, and I'm going to just hold it right here. There we go. I'm gonna have to tap this down right here on the body, not the roll pan. But anyway, now that I've got it lined up right here, it goes pretty smooth all the way to the corner. And I've got the corner kind of rounded. Started in with this, and I'm just feeling of it. And I can feel right here, there's still a high spot. I'm gonna have to work that high spot out. It needs to be a very smooth bend all the way down. And it is not, it's not real bad. But I am going to fix it. Alright, hold that right there. We'll go to this side. I've got it cut. And it doesn't fit very good at all. So what I'm gonna have to do is bend this. So I'll start bending it. And then I'm going to cut this down here and remove the pie shapes. I've already marked it. I'll just start cutting some pie shapes in right here, and then that material will be gone, so this will bend over and make a roll, because I'm going to have to make a roll similar to what this does. Alright, that's what I've got, and I'm going to start trying to get this to bend over. I may have to cut some more up in here like that. We'll see. I'm just going to lay this down on the concrete and tap this back down flush so it's a full 90 again, flush with this one, and then see what kind of bend I can get put in it. Alright, it's not cooperating like I want, so I will change my tools up. I'm going to lay this right here like that on that edge. I'll use that to hammer on. Okay, I've got it pretty much where I need it. Now I'm going to try to put a bend in it where that is, all the way down. Try to keep it straight. Might need to cut back a little bit further so that it'll bend where I want it to. Cut back, oop, my bad. I'll cut back to here so that it bends straight all the way down. I've got it fitting for the most part where it needs to be. So if I push that up on there, then it fits pretty good all the way around. I can kind of massage this as I go. I still got to put a panel in right here that comes down like this side has, with the body line right there. And of course that's been rained on for years, so we'll have to make that a lot better, get all that rust off for sure. I've got this one fitted pretty decent. It's a little bit off right here, just a little tweaking. Okay, so I plan on building, it's already built, I plan on putting it together to match this. It is a trailer. It's an air ride trailer built with the bed of a Nissan Hardbody. It is a long bed that I've made longer and wider, and it's kind of a secret, so don't tell nobody, because I kind of want to, it looks like it won't be for Sparks this year. Is in Knoll, Missouri, first weekend in October. This is a big car show that I used to go to, but haven't been able to go due to health reasons and financial reasons, but we're planning on going this year. I was wanting all of this completely put together, painted and ready, and I have what, like 4 weeks. So my wife told me 30 days yesterday. So the trailer won't make it to Sparks of the Ozarks, but hopefully I will get the Pathfinder there. But I beat around that bush. But what I'm thinking is I will have to pull a trailer with this and I'm trying to figure out if I have enough clearance here to put a hitch, come in underneath the roll pan with a hitch. This is laid out, it's not going to get any lower. Now if I raise the front, the back will come down like seesaw action. But let me get some metal off the shelf and see, because I have to know what's going to happen before I can do anything with this, because I still have the back part of this frame that I've got to put together and put back in. I had to cut it off because I knew it was going to hit this roll pan. I put the body back on last night and finished it up this morning, and I ended up yesterday, I had to cut the back of the frame off so that I would not damage this roll pan. I'm gonna have to make some of this stuff up really good as I go. Alright, I will figure something out and cut you back on in just a second. Okay, so I had to put it up on jack stands again. I got under here and was messing around with this frame, and I decided to check and see how much water I had in my water traps. I've got a water trap coming out of each compressor, so I have one on each side, and I have a water trap right there. I drained it and it had some water come out, and I drained the other one. Water came out, of course. This water trap goes to my switch box. It did not have any water in it. I decided to go ahead and check my tank, and now there's no water in it. No water came out. The bleed drain cock is now broke, so it's leaking out, and this is bagged and body dropped. I decided to, while I had air in my tank, to get it up off the ground and get it up on jack stands. So I pulled this bracket off of the tank and got it to where I could put the frame piece that I had cut off. I can stick it back up in here and build a way to make it bolt in place. The tank is going to have to come back down in order to drill the frame out on each side. I'm going to make a plate or angle iron or something to where this will fit back on. I'm going to pause on this because I don't have the metal that I want. This is 2.5 inch. I have some 2 inch. I'm looking for 3 inch. I think what I'm going to do is come off of the frame with some 3 inch and go across, and that will protect the roll pan and also give me a place to bolt in the receiver hitch, so I can just bolt it in place as I need it. I'm going to come back to this. I think I'm going to on this video now, I think I'm going to hook up this. There is a nut that fell off of the inside. Hopefully I can fit a new one, because I don't think I can weld it at this point. I forgot to do that with the frame off. Maybe I can glue that in. I'm going to hook up the gas tank filler neck. I've got a mess going on back here. I'm gonna have to unravel all of this mess, and then I'll cut you back on and show you what I'm going to do back here. Alright, so now in order to get my gas tank filler neck put in, I've got to tap these out, which I just got done doing, and this nut has fallen off the inside, so I'll have to weld a new one on. And if we go underneath, I can get to it right there. It's going to be tricky, but I think I can do it. I'm going to get my welder out and see if I'm going to be able to do that. Alright, I got that welded in, and now I'm just going to put the bolts back into place. I'm going to get that to where it sits a little bit better. I've got my rubber line hooked up. I don't have any clamps on it, which is going to be okay. This is just a temporary fit, and to get some fuel in the tank, just enough to see if the vehicle will start, which it should. But looks like gasoline could pocket right here, so that end game here, that might need double clamped, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to that. All right, so I'm gonna just tweak on this a little bit better just to get that to sit a little bit more flat here, and we'll see what we got. All of this will have to be polished back up. That's stainless, and it's just got a little overspray on it. They give you this nifty key. Take this off. It's kind of a pain every time you need to fill up. And normally it's got a screw with a chain, and the chain is connected in there. I took all of that off because I don't want it clanking around on my body right here. After paint, that could easily scratch. So we're gonna see if gas will go in here at this point. I'm gonna see if I've got some fuel I can put in. And anyway, not feeling it at all. Getting really tired. We'll see if we can get some stuff knocked out. I was able to get fuel in, and I was not able to get the fuel pump to activate. Well, it made a liar of me. I don't know what's going on. I had to bypass the fuel pump. I had to trigger this with a negative signal, but I just heard it kick on. I don't know what's going on. So that was really weird. It was not supposed to come on. It's been several days, and I've been fighting this. And I've actually built the entire wiring harness while waiting for a solution on that. Let me put this together and I'll cut you back on in just a second. So this white wire with the red stripe goes into the fuel pump relay. That is your negative trigger, and I was getting 5 volts. I gotta see about putting that back on a little bit better. I was getting about 5 or 8 volts of positive instead of a negative, so I bypassed this wire. I just cut a little piece and put a screw in there, and I had a bypass to make my fuel pump kick on. But for some reason now it's working with the key. Doesn't make sense. But I just popped these 2 fuses. These are 100 amp fuses, and I had those going to the motor. That is obviously not enough because they just blew out. So I went in here and I put in 2 125 amp fuses. I've got a heck of a mess going on from going through this harness. But let's see if it'll start now. I'm having to trigger that with my foot. Come on. Alright, so we know it runs, and wiring harness is done and tucked, and I will post a video on that. It's going to be a huge video. I'm sorry about that. I'll apologize in this video. So still got to put the frame back together. I went and I got a tool for that. This is a 90-degree drill, pneumatic. I'm gonna see if I can get up in there without having to remove my air tank. I'm waiting on a fitting to go on the bottom. I've busted the fitting off. And alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I'm getting confused because I have like 3 of these videos going, and I'm trying to get those edited for you guys. So, alright, I will catch y'all next time. Oh yeah, like, whatever. Alright, bye-bye.